The boobies are being served today on the GTA 6 Live for the Dragon Overhangs on the Netflix edition, and we're climbing that tower per se, but the Dragon show, the drag show in Texas, that's being grounded. So that's with Ken Paxton. Ken Paxton's being linked to Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is announcing the so-called Starbase in that LA area, the Louisiana. And then the DeSantis and Santa Ana, and Elon Musk wore the Santa suit, but that's tying into your tattoo slash whatever EBT for the BET and the Tibet and the Nepal and all that stuff for the Florida, ties into your WLFIFL, tying into your tokenization on the USD1. Trump coin or Trump bank, whatever. And that's going to tie the stable coin, the table, the Saudi Arabia, the magic trick, pulling stuff there. The glass tied to the ice age connects to your nice and the ice agents and the big freeze and all those things coming upon the earth. Like the Lockdown 2.0, CV19 connects to your GTA 6, connects to your 223, 322, the Skull and Bones. The Dolly Parton died at 80 right after Bill Clinton turned 80. That's the Dolly Bills. And then the China announces the YouTube. The YouTube's connected to the magnetics and the MAGA net ticks, the Netanyahu. The Billy, the Bill, the Billy Goats, those types of things. The Big Beautiful Bill, the 666, those types of, the Monica Lewinsky, Hillary Clinton, those little things as you're on that Jack and Jill, the Hack and Jill, the One-Eyed Jack, the Two-Eyed Jack, the Hill for Hillary Clinton, the Hill in DC, the DC is for that direct current, and also that battery upon the earth in a way. It is the District of Columbia, the White House, and the Columbia ties into your Petro, your Gustavo, the Sick, the Deer Boy, the Antlers, the Going into the Cave, the Purple, the China, all right, Chinese, the slopes on the mountains. You're at the Twin Peaks, now the Chinese and the Taiwan and the chips and all that thing kind of coming into effect either way. And then the chips connects you to the potatoes or the corn chips, the maize, and the May Musk and those kinds of overlays, or the labyrinth and the Pan's Labyrinth and those things. That Trump showed way back when, that actually have a picture on from the Judge Report or whatever, but the Canton network is tied to Trump and his tokenization, and the Canton ties to your first Monday in Texas, and the first Monday comes on 8/31, which is the first Monday after that PS5, which is the 16195 for that GTA 6 on the 56 on those numbers for the 47 and the 11 for the hallway of mirrors and such. 56 connects you to the 102856 for the Elvis King Spirit and those things that went live for that polio. The polio connects to your blue and red and your magnetics and your Santa Man and the penguins and the Emperor penguins, and the Emperor ties into the person controlling the Vader, and then the person behind the Oz and the Emerald and those things. So the Canton, the first Monday, is also tying into your 97, which is tied into your 79 on the GTA 6. Your 97 and 99 and those little clocks on the longer side, but that's Labor Day, and Trump said today in the post that he's delivering Texas. So the Texas is the TX us in the United States on that level, and going to that little horn and the flip-flops on things, and he has to show that he's the Antichrist on a certain level, and then all these kings are going to turn on in one way, shape, or form, and either way, and the king's going to turn on inside of you as y'all been taken into the machine and merged with the machine, and we're going to get into these things a little bit in a deeper perspective about the transformation in the so-called Jesus coming upon the earth already, and the people not accepting it, and those types of things. And either way, so the China YouTube and the magnetics and the auto mechanism and the hack attack on the 5 or 6 organizations on the America on the day when the dam or the ice break, that dam break, those things that I told you would be coming or whatever. But this is where all these things are lining up in one shape or form. And we got the Hoover Dam and all these big dams, and that localized flood that they speak of is going to be happening as far as when these dams break and all these cities are built underneath it. That worldwide flood would be that currency, okay? That money, and time is money and end times, and that person with a mark to buy and sell, and the petrochemical coming against the electrical system, and those things as the Lucifer and the lies been cast to the ground. And you're going to have these battle of the Christos, which is the oil, and battles of the oils, battles of the fats, battles of the sugars, battles of the drugs, these fires that give, or this oil that gives fire within man, okay? So we're going to connect your world in another way in another video. But this Dolly Parton, the Tim Curry, the so-called TP shortage, that TP USA, that shit show, the crapture, rapture, trapture, all these things that I told you to be lining up. So that's where we're at here now. And these things that are happening upon the earth are supposed to be shaking you in the eyes and shaking you in the ears to where you start seeking after this truth, because these people you're listening to don't know what the fuck they're talking about, okay? And it's nut jobs that know what actually we're talking about, which seems so fucking crazy because you're so fucking programmed never to fucking see and hear, okay? Just like that Jesus, the truth and grace tells you. But the Moses brings the law that creates a veil. The Paul, full-blown liar, and Jesus warned you about that, but you failed that test under that New Testament as the Jesus already came, and the heaven is in you. You're not going there. You're already there. You gotta find it. And then you gotta have the positive and the negative, one in each hand, and then that light comes on inside of you, and you regain your throne back there in heaven as a Lucifer. You lose your fear of dying, and you realize that the death, there is a birth, and you were born again into the next dimension, or the next life, or body, or whatever, okay? And the plants, and we're gonna get into this a little bit, what these dimensional portals that we have upon our earth, and it all happens within us. And we're in this dimensional portal upon earth that is happening within us now, as you have merged with machine, and you've eaten this food, or drinking that drink, or you've taken this, that, and the other. And some of these come out when you eat it. You can see it come out. How does that come out? Or, oh, I can't eat peanuts. Oh, face is rotten off, or got some immune system where my body's attacking itself. Huh, interesting. The attack on itself, that's kind of like the black hole consuming itself, isn't it? That we've gotten into, that we live in, that this projection, it's all coming into this black hole. And the square meets the pupil, which is a circle. All right, so square, the cube, and the circle. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will give you my utmost respect just because you are a elder, even though you're a dumb shit. I don't think so. In another perspective, the children are the elders, actually, because they're going to be living longer than us on this world, and we need to preserve it for them, and we actually need to kind of do what they say in one way, shape, or form, and this is kind of where we're at in a way. So, it's where that man-child comes, and some of us are the Peter Pan who shall never grow old, and that child at heart, and having that child at heart where you just love everything. Oh man, that's great, great. You know? When they tell you no is when you get upset. And that's where y'all should be in this nation, where they're saying no, they're trying to outlaw this and trying to outlaw that. And Texas is a perfect example of them trying to ban this, that, and the other. Okay? And America stands for the land of the free and the home of the brave. And y'all aren't doing either one at the moment. As you're trying to take freedoms and you're living in fear. How do you know you live in fear? Because they mix and match all these insurance plans. As far as car insurance, yeah, you probably need car insurance. That's a good one to have, probably. But the health insurance, you're your own doctor. You should be your own doctor. Not this man going and giving you this petroleum-based, artificially colored, whatever pill. Let food be thy medicine. Y'all have a form of godliness, but you deny the power thereof, just like it tells you. And that's why you can't do anything. And that's why you have a self-preservation, selfish salvation system taught to you by Paul, who changed the gospel, who's, oh yeah, I saw Jesus. You got to do it this way. Oh, okay. Oh, those are demons. What? Wait. Demons means intelligence. That means I probably should maybe listen to it, because either way, you're going into that stable, folks, that USD won, all right? And who won? And the cheetahs at the table for the savannas. And the that vanilla ice is being served up a little bit for that Tupac today, which is part of that mudslide that we saw being shown for that mud flood, being shown for that dam break on that icebreaker or whatever thing. Either way, it should be interesting coming forward as the Iceman. Man, was it Iceman Jim Parsons or whatever his name was for the WWF? That's where you have the Parsons and the Pardon and the Parton coming for your nipples and your nipples and your big boobies session in your GTA-6 and your 6-hour overlay from one to the other. And you got the eclipse going from 27 to 28 tonight, and the little hallway of mirrors and the flip-flops and the first Monday and the moon rising over the old world, and this ties into the man of sun supposedly, and that's the manna's in, and that's that money, and that's that bread falling from heaven. But this is where certain things in that China YouTube sets up, where they start making money or whatever, like America, and then either way, and we see where the woman rides the dragon in another way. Anyways, Dolly's part of that baddie, and we saw where these men are just like that, and then they're talking about how I'm a woman, but I think like a man. So that's where she could be part of this Dollar Billy's Dolly's bill, and you have the Dolly land, the Memphis, which is part of your the EMP, and the Egyptian, the Israel, and the Jesus, and the Jesus for the Ghislaine Maxwell. Your Maxwell is tied to your coffee session, your hack attack, and one-eyed jacks, and all those things. But Dolly Parton being the baddie and thinking like a man, she could be tied to this person who maybe is going to come back to life in a way, but she might be the one with the Twin Peaks and the main tramp. She said, I got my look and whatever kind of thing, and she's this godly woman and came from this and whatever kind of thing, and she's for the people. And anyway, as far as the image given life, all right? And she's the queen of country, so she's where she's using these women. She could be part the woman, the mademoiselle or whatever, that runs this whole fucking show on one level, using like Kim K, high-level escorts to gather information here, there, and wherever on that kind of thing. Anyways, so that's where all these things can kind of be lining up, and then where we're going to see these lights taken out, and then the light turned on in the head in a way, and we're going to see all these things come together, all right? So this is why we're in the days of future past and everything's already happened, and now you're going to be taken out of it. As you're taken out of it, you're given the bits of truth now, kind of in that old projection in a way, and that's where Trump is coming in telling you, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, because he's a light of America, and he's connecting the hallway of mirrors, and the Alice in Wonderland, you're like, there's different people in different segments or whatever of the mirror. But as you're walking in, it's kind of where people are walking in now, and they're walking into the Alice in Wonderland, and they're going to meet the Cheshire Cat, they're going to meet the Mad Hatter, they're going to meet the fucking Tea Party, and all those things, okay? The Red Queen, who tagged ya, okay? So, we see the tattoo being bound. That's the mark in the right hand. They're fucking drawing, man, on your skin. The skin is part of the Barbie and Ken, and this is where the Bucky's, okay? He's showing us divide on that Red Sea. Well, we're only gonna put our stores and whatever kind of thing. Okay, so, well, let's just stop buying your shit if you're blue, and then let's see how those stores are fucking worthless in the first place. You walk in there and you're like, why the fuck is a gas station so big, and why do they need 80,000 fucking pumps up front, okay? So you're going to find out why. Because that mark in the right hand, and y'all are going to be waiting in line and shit and whatever else. And either way, it's all perfect setting. And that's why they sell every fucking thing in that store. And the Bucky's is tied to the Beaver Dam. The Beaver Dam is tied to the Tipusa. The Tipusa is tied to the vagina. And the vagina is tied to probably the person pimping out their retard sister or their vegetable steak kid or whatever else. And cherry shampoo, those kinds of things, for that little gumbo session. And we got that Eddie Murphy coming up, that fucking Raw in another way, and the Gumpy special for the SNL. We're checking out the SNL, as we got the Dolly Partons and the other 80-year-olds coming, but we got that fresh curry leaves showing, as the Rocky Horror Picture showing, that trans and the big knockers and all that stuff is setting up, because I swear you're all being judged in your all sins and whatever as you rise up, and they're telling you tranny drag shows are okay, and then there was once in time in the 70s and 80s or whatever when these shows came out, and you saw this man dressed like a woman, or Mr. Mom or Mrs. Doubtfire or whatever, and you laughed. Ha, 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 ha. But you forgot how to laugh in the Israel. You can laugh at the Israel, that movie, but you can't laugh at the Israel movie, the real life fucking movie around you. And that's where Sly Stallone is like, hey, you gotta just look around. There's a movie everywhere on every block. You just gotta have the eyes to see it. You know, that kind of stupid shit. But yeah, I don't know if I was born on who else does he sound like? Oh man, man, what was it? Bobcat. Police. That kind of thing. That kind of thing. You're gonna have you're going back to school soon. So my favorite teacher back in school was actually one of those on the TV, like where he's geez, what's the scene? Either way, we're getting distracted here. We'll do another one on that, but well, Mr. Helper, that one. We got the pardon going on, the Gulf, and he's changing the Lake of America and that Canada and the Gulf. Okay, so all that's going right next to that Lake Erie for that thriller on the 15,000 days. I think it's coming up on, or 16, whatever. I did a little post on there, but the 15,000 and whatever, and then the 11th day and the 611 and the MJ, and then you got your Spider-Man and the dude talking about, oh, well, you should be a gay or whatever. Well, that's not how it was written first off. He likes a girl, so he doesn't like a dude, so you're just going to have to create a whole new fucking character if you just want to come in and start whatever that's been set for 50 years in the comics. Okay? You can't just make Superman gay just because he's wearing tights. Alright? And the scene where like Hulk Hogan's like, like this doll, rag doll or whatever. Okay, this can be like a midget scene that we're gonna be shown. It can be like a scene where we're like watching a dude hump a plastic blow up dummy or whatever, or that kind of thing. Or it could be like some crazy grape juice scene for the grapes of wrath, and you're in the Lord's wrath, and we're going to see some grape juice probably being shown from the Iran and the hack attacks on the Epstein files or the Comb file, whatever. Comb files or those hard part sessions, okay? And we got the bristle Palin, the bristles on the comb, and the brush and whatever for the Sarah Palin, and that Alaska Twin Peaks, the Twin Peaks and the mom and daughter, mom and pop shop, that kind of thing, to be lining up. Man, we've connected a lot of this. It's just like going full circle in a way, if you've been following along, but it's getting more boom, 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 boom. Either way, we got a twin birth coming. We've been tracking the twos, been seeing the twins, and it's where like, and that's where like the Jesus, the truth, and the grace comes in these people. That grace, that Iran, the critical race, and whatever. That G, that seventh church, that amen. Either way, it starts shining a lot. And then that's where you got America, and it's being hacked, as it's like that light on the hill, and that beacon of earth. And the hack attack, all that stuff. But either way, I got so much stuff going on in my head. We will end it here, folks.